Hi, welcome to my February 2021 development vlog. In this video I'm going to go over some development I did in February, and to start it off I'm going to cover some user interface additions. First of all, I have ray tracing now actually working in the game. I tried it a few months back and it was not really implemented properly for me, or by me I should say. So now you can toggle ray tracing, which obviously does a bit of a damage to the FPS. You can also turn on and off certain effects in the game, like chromatic aberration, vignette, and fog. That's just for performance or for preference for some people. Another addition, which is quite recent, is now you can also turn on Nvidia DLSS, which I'm really happy to add. It's a really great feature from the recent Nvidia graphics cards, and to be able to use that in my game. I'm really happy to be able to add that, and it was really very simple to add. Next here, I'm going to show how I implemented a simple screenshot feature. This is not the hardest thing to do, but at least now you can take screenshots in the game. You can also now loot any kind of item in the world, not just from containers. You can also loot pretty much any item, and that's fully implemented for all the item types as well that are available in Dronable. And also, it comes with looting. Sometimes you might want to get rid of items. I've updated it so that now when you jettison something, you can actually collect it again instead of just having it evaporate into space. So now for a certain amount of time, right now I have it set to 60 seconds, you can collect again something that you jettison. Another feature in the game is now you can boost with certain engines. So it will obviously increase how much energy you spend, but for a little period of time you can actually boost your engine. And in the game I also added some idle animations, so when you're not doing anything, the drone will kind of go through these animations. I'll probably add some more because there's not that many. You will also have a form of emotes. So here I'm just testing out a little kind of like dancing emote. It's a bit rough at the transitions from one to the other, but quite happy with them. Jump gates, I've added two new features to them. One, there's now an effect when you jump through a gate, and also I've implemented cinematics for the transitions between levels in the game. So here, for example, you'll see both of those. First the effect, along with the cinematic that's also playing during it, and you get an effect on the other side. I still have to implement a page for when it's loading. Unfortunately, even on my fast SSDs, it still takes some time to load certain levels. But yeah, so now there's little cinematics and effects as well for arriving at your destination. When in an area that has a gravity field, you can now jump, which will be useful to getting around things. Obviously landing can do a little bit of damage, but you can use it in combination with your booster, if you have a booster on your engine, to jump further and higher. And the NPCs, as I mentioned before, I just completely rewrote my own pathfinding. Funny enough, even though I spent a lot of time making my own pathfinding, because the zones are so sparse, most of the time they just have direct paths to what they're looking to get to. Nonetheless, if they do have to go around asteroids, they do. So here are just some examples of some little guys kind of doing their own thing, floating around. I do still want to make a little bit of improvements on the artificial intelligence for these guys. One thing is in terms of optimization, I don't really want them doing all these calculations, finding paths and everything, if there's really no player anywhere near them. Another type of NPC I added is a kind of like a sentry drone. So my early demo back in May 2019 had these kind of very basic, almost Roomba-like drones, and I decided to re-implement them. So these little guys kind of not really paying attention to you, but they will kind of go around and scan for stuff and have their own little life. This one is used in the game for kind of patrolling. And something else in the game that I've also implemented obviously is I want to have dungeons within the asteroids instead of sort of the bigger asteroids. So I have been working on and off on those for the last couple of months. And here you'll be able to see a few more interior scenes. They're very sparse. They don't have any clutter or really anything in them. Some of them barely have any textures. But it's kind of a framework. It's just the building basically. I also added some sparks, so when you hit something, it will kind of spark where it collides. But yeah, so these are kind of the shells of some parts of the inner asteroids, and I will be adding more and more to these. I'm in big spaces where I can kind of add whatever I want, and break it up as well. I thought these windows would be kind of a cool effect as you look through what could be out there, kind of holding the system in place in these big giant hollow asteroids. So for example, out there I'll probably be adding like crystals and things like that. Thank you very much for watching. You made it this far. Please enjoy this little sneak peek.